Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another episode of Jared Opens a Box here on Jared Takes the L. And we have a really cool episode for you guys today because we are going to be taking a look at one of the most recent waves of Pokemon Funko Pops. Not the most recent, I'm running behind again on the Pokemon Pops because they come out with them like every 2 or 3 months it seems. But we have a really cool one for you guys here today. 3 interesting choices for Pops if I do say so myself. And we are just going to get right into the video because Pokemon really doesn't need any further introduction here. We've done so many videos on it, so this is actually the last of the, I want to say, Sword and Shield starters. Yeah, we already did Scorbunny back late last year. We did Sobble earlier this year, so it's only fitting that we now finally have Grookey being added to that lineup as well. He is Pop Games number 957. I still think Pokemon probably could get its own line at this point because they are constantly making more, but that's neither here nor there. He is a grass type, so his box does have a lot of green, and it has the logo on the back. Oh, spoiler alert, there's your other 2 on the back there as well. And yeah, let's go ahead and just see what Grookey is all about here. And honestly, if I had to pick, I didn't actually play Sword and Shield. I don't know why, I just never did. If I had to pick a starter from that one, I'd probably go with Scorbunny, in all honesty. I always thought his design was the coolest. Alright, so here is Grookey. He actually has a base, too. Came with a base. Alright, so here is Grookey. Obviously, his design is kind of like a grass monkey type, mixture. You can definitely, it's in the name, kind of, He has a really long tail right there. I love the face, they really did good with that. It's fairly accurate to what it looks like. They even have him in the same pose that I think, if you look up Grookey on Google, you'd probably see him in this exact pose. He has this little, leaf thing on his head. It even has a little branch going through it, so I think that's really cool. And yeah, they even gave a little smile and a little nose. I think it's such a cute little figure. The design's not too complicated, which is kind of the same with most Pokemon Pops. But I think they still did a really good job with this one. Yeah, I really like it. I think it's really nice. It'll go great with Scorbunny and Sobble. I'll probably put them all together because I think Funko knocked it out of the park with this one. So there is Grookey. Let's take a look. And it stands perfectly fine. I don't really see why you would need a base for that one, but that's neither here nor there. This next one's a really interesting choice because it's not a Pokemon that I ever have thought about, ever. I kind of forgot this one even existed, and then they revealed it, and I'm like, oh, wow, really? It's really cool, don't get me wrong, but it's such a simple thing, and I truly just wasn't expecting this to be one of the ones Funko would put on, their priority list, but they did. Still have this one before Jigglypuff, which I still find to be kind of weird, but I'm sure we'll get there eventually. But we have Wooloo, or Wooloo, or whatever, however the heck you pronounce it, Wooloo. Pop Games number 958. Again, very surprising decision to release this one so early. I'd still say early in the Pokemon line because there's still 850 whatever Pokemon Pops to make. I think this one's just a normal type, if I believe, which is kind of why the box looks a little bland. It's like that gray coloration. But nonetheless, still pretty neat. Let's go ahead and open this one up here. It's a fairly simple pop, so I don't think we'll be spending too much time talking about it. Alright, so here's Wooloo. As you guys could tell, it is pretty much just a sheep, but it does have these, I almost want to call them braids or something, which is probably the only thing that's really differentiating it from a normal sheep. I guess I can kind of see why Funko thought this was an easy one to make just to toss in for the Pokemon wave, because it really is fairly simple. It's really just a sheep. I don't really know what else to really say about this one, but they still did good. It's really accurate to what Wooloo actually looked like, but the simplicity of it, there's just not much else to say. It's accurate, but that's pretty much it. I like it, don't get me wrong, but some of the Pokemon Pops just don't have these crazy designs that we're used to seeing from other series. Like the video next week, there's your little hint up there. It's FNAF, by the way. Has some crazy designs. These ones are simple, and that's okay too. I like sometimes just having that simplicity. The last Pokemon pop, though, does have a little bit more detail to it. It's a really cool one, again, kind of unexpected. Grookey was the only one that really made sense because they already did Scorbunny, they did Sobble, so he was the most obvious candidate to be in this wave. But this was kind of an out of left field choice, too. I am familiar with this one. It just wasn't one that came to mind right off the bat, especially when we still haven't seen Gengar or Jigglypuff, some of the more popular ones. But this one is Luxray. Again, pretty cool. They didn't even do any of its previous evolutions. They jumped straight to this one. This is 956, so I guess we went out of order again, of course. We always do that here. But yeah, here is Luxray. He is, of course, an electric-type Pokemon, hence the yellow lightning bolt on the box. Again, love the boxes for the Pokemon Pops. Love that they put the types, they base it around the type of the Pokemon. Let's go ahead and open this one up. Alright, so like I said, Luxray probably has the most detail out of the three that we've reviewed today. He's mostly blue and black. I like the ears, very well designed there. He has a little tail right here that ends up forming into like a star of some sort. That's actually part of the tail, so that's a really cool detail. He's got some like yellow lines on his arms as well, because he is able to conduct electricity, similar to Pikachu and all of the other electric types in Pokemon. And he also has like these spikes, almost like Sonic the Hedgehog spikes, in the back of his head as well. So those are all really cool. He's got some spikes down by his tail and everything like that. So Luxray overall is a really cool pop. I think they're all really cool, but Luxray definitely is my personal favorite of this line, simply because it had more detail and, thus more effort, I guess, put into it, simply based on that fact alone. But in terms of my ratings, I would say Luxray definitely, I'd say 9 out of 10. I mean, again, I base it on accuracy, I base it on how it looks and everything, and I think they really did a good job with this one. So I definitely give this one a 9 out of 10. Grookey and Wooloo, especially, I say Wooloo's probably going to get like a 7, Grookey probably an 8. Again, Wooloo is very simple, so there's really not much else to do with that one. Grookey gets an 8. They're both accurate. I like them both. But, with the Pokemon Pops, unlike some of the other ones, there's just not going to be as much detail. That's why this video is not going to be a fairly long one. But I just love having more Pokemon Pops. I will never complain about getting more Pokemon Pops, no matter how simple they may be, including Jigglypuff, who's just a round puffball with eyes. But yeah, I guess that's going to do it for yet another Pokemon video. There's already another one in the works, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more after that. But next week, we're going to be taking a deep dive back into the world of Five Nights at Freddy's for the most recent game, or second most recent game. See, I'm so far behind. I can't even remember what I'm doing with these. We'll be back with that next week from YouTube's. But for now, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.